Hi, I'm Allison Wingfield. I'm the Executive Director of Rush Homes, and we're a nonprofit organization providing housing options to people who have disabilities and low incomes in the greater Lynchburg area. When I started in 2002, we had 2 homes, and now we have over 40 homes and apartments, including our newest development at Victoria Ridge. To me, Rush Homes is much more than just providing housing. We're providing dignity and independence. I'd like to share with you some of the stories of the people that we've been able to help.
My Aunt Mabel and Uncle Wallace had a child, and his name is Jimmy, so he's my first cousin. Jimmy is intellectually disabled. My aunt and uncle loved him dearly. They felt that God had given him to them to take care of, and they kept him at home and took care of him and made sure he went to the best schools that they could afford to send him to. He had a lot of behavioral problems. He became difficult for them to control at times. At night when they would be asleep, Jimmy would get up and leave the house unclothed, that sort of thing. My aunt was close to a nervous breakdown on more than one occasion just from lack of sleep because Jimmy was so much to take care of. So they began to look at the reality of the situation and realized that they had to start finding some place for Jimmy to be when they couldn't take care of him any longer. There really aren't that many places for these people to go. Imagine what it would be like to be taken out of your loving home with your own room and your own bed and your own items and placed where people couldn't talk and stole your items and wouldn't give you any privacy. And so Jimmy deteriorated rapidly. My aunt heard of an organization in another state where homes were purchased by this organization and they acted as landlords for the handicapped, where they had the ability to live independently if they had those minor modifications. She wondered if that would work here, but she really didn't know how to go about getting it started, but she felt like she needed to do that, and so she went on a campaign and got in touch with other concerned parents. That was the beginning of what is now Rush Homes. At that time, Mabel was in the hospital and was not going to survive this illness. I spoke with the folks that she'd been working with, and they were very happy to tell me that the first home had been purchased and that it was going to be given to Jimmy. He would get the very first Rush home. At that time, it wasn't known as Rush Homes, but we wanted Mabel to know this, and we took Jimmy to the new home, and we took pictures of him on the doorstep, and we took them back to show Mabel at the hospital and to tell her that Jimmy was going to get his home and that he would be okay. And that was how Rush Homes became Rush Homes.
I was just a carefree teenager, went to a friend's pool party one night. It was a newly built pool, and I didn't know the depths of the pool itself. And I misjudged the depth, didn't dive in far enough, and I broke my neck and become a quadriplegic. And from then on, it has been a struggle to live a normal life.
I was at work when I got the call that Bill had been hurt in an accident. When I arrived at the hospital, they told me he had broken his neck, and I had heard of people breaking their neck before, but I didn't realize what it entailed. And he was in intensive therapy for 9 months following that. And he got to come home after that, and it was hard on both of us. We made it for about 3 years. Moved to another apartment, it was the same. It was still a struggle. Then we heard about Rush Homes, and Bill applied. His name was put on the list, and he just couldn't wait to get a home of his own where he could be independent and have a roll-in shower. For me to see him be independent and to go call GLTC and he'd go out here and catch a bus and go to the mall and do things on his own. It was my dream.
Just having a roll-in shower, it just makes a tremendous difference in one's life. And I encourage anyone out there with a disability that's in a wheelchair to apply at Rush Homes. The accessibility is much easier in the apartment that they have provided for me, and I just can't say enough about Rush Homes. I love them to death. Really like living here. I really like living here, and hope to live here many years to come.
Rush Homes currently has 43 units of housing in the Lynchburg area, including 24 fully accessible apartments at Victoria Ridge. Before I came on staff at Rush Homes, I knew that there was a need for accessible housing in the area, but I had no idea how great the need was. Currently, our waiting list is 393 people. I had the opportunity to meet one of the people on our waiting list, a woman who's in a wheelchair. She lives in an apartment that if she wants to use the kitchen, she has to go forward into the kitchen and back the wheelchair back out. There's no space to turn around. But worse is the bathroom. She can't use the bathroom at all. She has to get out of her wheelchair, hold herself up on the wall and the sink in order to use it. But worse than that, she can't come and go to her apartment. There are steps in the front and back and no ramp. So if there were a fire, she said that she would have to roll her wheelchair to the edge of the stairs, roll out of the wheelchair, and crawl to safety. This just isn't necessary. Rush Homes has the ability and the knowledge to build fully accessible housing so that we can make a difference in people's lives.
A disability could happen to any one of us at any time. It could be you, it could be me, it could be our families, it could be people close to us. And all of us, despite the fact we have a disability, deserve the dignity of housing that meets our needs, accessible, affordable housing. Rush Homes is one of only 2 organizations in the state of Virginia that provides accessible, affordable housing to people with disabilities. The need is great, and it's going to continue to grow.